Jennifer, AP, I've got one for Dale and one for Rick. Dale, you said when you crossed the finish line, this one's better than the first. But then you said in Victory Lane, this one's not better than the first. So which one is it?
Yeah, I think I was thinking about that. When I crossed the finish line, I was relieved that I've done it again and that I've done it with the people I'm with. So initially, the reaction was, this is better because I'm back, in Victory Lane. But it's different because it's the people, and I was talking about that earlier, but it's better because you had a taste of it, before. To win it the first time, you are blown away and sort of overwhelmed, and the experience is a blur, and you really don't, it doesn't sink in. You don't absorb much of the whole thing. I can't even remember half of it, even after the fact. What we did that week, I don't even remember going over and putting the car in there. But it was just all so much of a flash. And so now I realize that, and I'm surrounded by so many great people. We got a great team. Everybody's, so many people were able to enjoy this, and I'm reminded to let it sink in, reminded to enjoy it. I mean, I've really enjoyed driving down in front of the fans there. I was having the time of my life inside that car going down the front straightaway. And when I got to Victory Lane, I couldn't wait to hug everybody and just enjoy it. Didn't do that the first time because it was just, you're blown away. So this one's funner.
And Rick, I imagine fielding cars for NASCAR's most popular driver is a tremendous responsibility, and it must feel frustrating that you don't have more success and that you always give all your best stuff to Jimmy and always let Jimmy win all the time, according to the fans.
I'm glad I'm sitting here. I want to hear this.
I mean, I don't say it, the fans do.
They've never said it to me.
Yeah, because you're not.
You're the only one that said it to
Well,
me.
you're not on Twitter, but Dale's going to get on Twitter because he told Michael Waltrip if he wins the Daytona 500, he's going to get on Twitter.
Here, pay attention. Might be tweeting here in a minute.
Yeah.
I gotta get my password.
So I'm wondering if you feel any relief or satisfaction in getting this win with him, and if you can talk a little bit about the burden that you do feel in needing to have success with Dale Jr.
Yeah. I think Dale had a lot of options when he was going to make a change, and we talked, and he wanted to come with us, and I wanted him to come with us. And there was a lot of pressure, an awful lot of pressure, a lot of high expectations, and we didn't have the success that we thought we'd have. I remember a lot of you said, hey, he'll win 6 races and he'll win a championship, and we came down here and we won the shootout and the qualifier right out of the gate, and then we didn't go where we needed to go, but we never gave up, and I was as determined as ever, and I told him that we would get it right, and we would do what we set out to do, and we were not going to stop. But it's a lot of pressure. It was an awful lot of pressure, and I felt like I let him down. He felt like he let me down, but we locked arms and said we're going to figure it out. And last year was a great year, and I wish the success had come earlier. But this is a tough sport. I mean, it is a tough sport, and there's so much talent out there, and just like he said, it's that little magic with the car. It's that magic with the guys here and the team, and it's when you hit it, it's amazing. And when Jimmy Johnson goes 2 years and doesn't win a championship, something's wrong. Well, there's nothing wrong. It's just everybody else is that good, and they've got that magic, and these guys have that magic, and I think this could be the year.
go to Jim Utter, and I believe we were going to Dustin Long and then Brant James.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer, one for Dale and one for Steve. Dale, Brad Keselowski was in here earlier, and he said he thought that this may have been one of the hardest run Daytona 500s from start to finish.
Damn.
You've obviously been in a lot more than he has. I just wondered if you felt something similar, and if so, was it what might have been attributed to? Was it just being the Daytona 500? Was it points don't matter, or maybe just sitting around for 6.5 hours?
Yeah, I think it was the package, and the way you were having to race to stand your ground. And I hated to drive. So I hated to do some of the things I had to do tonight to race. But that's there was a couple laps where I had to run Jeff Gordon right on the fence around the racetrack and turn in the turns down the straightaway. I mean, right in his door to keep him from drafting by me. And I hate to do that to my teammate. You hate to do that to anybody, but that's what it took, and that's what you had to do. And I knew, like we had talked about before, I talked with Steve about how we were not in the right place at the end of these other races, and we'd make a move and finish second, and knew we didn't have a shot at winning, knew we didn't have a shot at the leader at the end. Why and what do we need to do? And so tonight it was just all about not giving an inch, not running fifth, and not being okay to run, not sitting in fifth place all night and being okay with it. Wanting to lead every lap, wanting to be in first every lap. That was what my motive was. And it was a unique race. I feel uncomfortable sitting here bragging that I drove my ass off or run the best race of my life, but it was a unique race, and we all were really pushing the envelope out there and really asking a lot of each other. I remember running real tight on the door of the 16 car for the lead, and he had the 20 behind him. And I just kept thinking all it's going to take is for Matt to make one move a little wide into the corner or something like that and catch my quarter panel and turn me into the 16, and we're going to be up in the wall. And every lap you're asking that of every drive. You're asking every driver around you to be able to hold their line and run, be smart and see what's happening and understand how close the quarters were, because everybody was just shoving all over each other and just climbing all over top of each other. So you were asking a lot of everybody around you to be able to do that all night long, and we all really put each other in a lot of difficult situations, but it was really fun, even under those circumstances. I felt like that for the first time in a long time, you were able to see just how talented everybody out there was. All the Biffle and all those guys, everybody was really bringing the best out of themselves tonight.
And for Steve, I've had many veteran drivers have said over the years how much they have spent time trying to win the Daytona 500, and then even Dale Jarrett, who was in here earlier, and then once they do that and they accomplish that goal, the first thing they think about is how do they win in the next one. You've already chosen, decided to take another career path. I just wondered, is this the optimal way to go out, or do you think you might have some second thoughts?
I mean, it's better than losing. Yeah, I mean, I was telling my wife last night, we were riding to dinner, and we were just talking about stuff, and I said, it's a little sad. I never really put two and two together, or, when you think about making that decision, so many things that are so important in my life that drove that decision, and going to dinner last night, I was like, I'm a little sad. This will be my last 500, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of those moments this year. I've done this since I was a 16-year-old kid. I don't really know anything else. It's the joke with my team when you go anywhere is, if you wanted to where to eat or how to get around the racetrack, I've grown up at all these tracks. So, everyone has a bucket list, and you don't work in racing without having the Daytona 500 on your bucket list. So this is it seems a little bit surreal or awkward, but it appears that, a career-defining moment came in my last chance at it. So it's, like I said earlier, it's it's one of those things that, you know, they might say I won X amount of races as a crew chief, but Daytona 500 champion will always be set out of that list. And this one is special. I'm going to enjoy this one for sure.
Let's go to Dustin Long, Brant James, and then Mark Garrow.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. Dale, you talked about trying to remember more of this experience. What you mentioned, the driving in the car with the fans. What stood out about that? What was it like being in the car? That's just your moment by yourself. And second question is, obviously, a great moment. You're excited and giddy. When's the last time you've even felt like this?
The last time I won the Daytona 500. It's you know, you win other races and other good things happen to you in life, but this is a unique feeling, and it only comes with this particular win. You know, the fans are so supportive. They stick with you. We put them through so much, you know, and we ask so much of them to plug into this sport and to be a part of it. And then you think about that, and then you think on a smaller scale of your personal fans, the fans that pull for your team, and what I've went through as a driver, and what they follow. You know, the lows you go through, they're with you, and they're with you in the highs, obviously. But we went through some pretty bad lows, and they're still there. And I know when I drove down that front straightaway, I know it wasn't, but it seemed like everybody that was here was cheering. And I know we don't have every fan out there, but it was certainly a happy crowd. And yeah, I really feed off of that. And that is as key to the moment, and enjoying the moment as anything. That's as key to the moment as going to Victory Lane, seeing your crew, or seeing Rick, and seeing my girlfriend. And, you know, that's all those moments where you see joy in someone else's face during this evening. You know, that seeing all that and all those fans, you feed off of that so much. You know, you'll never forget that just looking up into the grandstands and seeing all those people cheering and so happy. You'll never forget it, and especially when you pull up there to get the flag, and you get right up on them. I mean, they're like they're coming through the fence. You know, it's just incredible, the energy from that side of the racetrack.
Let's go to Brant James, Steve Richards, Bob Pockrass.
Brant James from ESPN.com for Junior. How much fun can the next 25 races be, being able to sort of swing for the fences, and how can you use that to build momentum in trying to win a championship?
Well, I expect that we're going to have some great race cars and great opportunities to win, and I know that we run our guts out every week. Steve and the guys give it all they got. I give it all I got. We did that last year and didn't win any races. We weren't trying to be consistent. We weren't trying to just gather up points. We want to win so bad because we know how important that is to our fans. We know how important that is to the sport, and how big it'd be for, you know, all the effort Rick's put into it. And so we try every week to win, and we'll continue to do that. I don't think we'll do it any different than we've always done it. Steve may be able to get in certain situations at certain tracks and make a different call that he would typically make, and I anticipate that and look forward to that. But for the most part, the tracks and the tire wear and things like that will really dictate the strategy he uses, regardless of the format of the points and the chase and all that. You want to do whatever you can to win the race, and that's dictated by the track and the tires and fuel strategy and what have you. So I don't think our approach is going to change a whole lot, but we got a lot of confidence because of coming off such a strong year, and obviously winning this race, our confidence couldn't be higher. And confidence is a great thing. You know, it's half of the battle. You know, being confident in what you're doing, and when you have the most, you're in perfect situation to have some good things happen. So hopefully we can seize the moment.
Let's go to Steve Richards, Bob Pockrass, Tom Bowles.
Steve Richards with PRN. My question's for Rick. Rick, you when you rode Jimmy's car into victory lane, you'd say you never would do it again. What possessed you to do it again tonight?
When I got to the car, he said, "Get in," and I was so excited I got in. And when we got to that corner at the gate, I couldn't hold on. Inside the roll bar was slick or something, and I almost fell out, and I was hollering, "Stop!" And so I almost didn't come in here tonight. I mean, I was probably been over to Halifax, but I won't do it anymore. I better not say that, but I think the emotion just got me as soon as I got to the window.
You need to learn how to get them side windows out. That way you can ride in the passenger seat.
Okay. But as soon as I got there, he said, "Get in." And I just didn't even think about it. Climbed in. But I'll think about it again because I almost fell out. I was wedged in with Jimmy. My foot was under the steering wheel, wedged up against his leg. I couldn't fall out. I'd be like riding a bull hanging on. But this time I almost did fall out. So
Let's go to Bob Pockris, Tom Bowles, Stan Creekmore. Go ahead.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. Steve, you've kind of touched on it some, but I mean, what do you think it'll be like a year from now when you're not going to be able to defend this?
Oh, I have no idea. You know, I think I'm going to come back and get my car back. Maybe I'll come down here and get it back when they give it to us next year. But you know, I don't know. There's a lot of water to pass under the bridge between now and then. You know, there's still 35 other trophies to get. There's a big one at the end of the year. I'm going to really, really enjoy this victory, but it's kind of like Dale said, you know, winning reminds you how great this sport is and why we all did it and why we're all here. And it's really as simple as that. And it seems odd, but that's really what it comes down to is, you know, we don't play in stick and ball sports. You know, a 500 year doesn't exist in a race team. You know, you don't win half your races. You don't, you know, you go and you compete against 42 other people. And every Sunday you line up and nobody cares what you did last week. It's what you're going to do this week. And you kind of have that same sort of feeling. You know, you want to go and win every single week. And that's the one thing my biggest concern about next year is what is going to fill the competitive void because it's all I've known since I was a kid. So we'll see. We'll see if my kid's go-kart will fill the void or not. I think he's going to be a tougher boss than this one. So I'm going to have to sharpen up a little bit for then.
Go to Tom Bowles, Stan Creekmore, and end right here with Mike.
Tom Bowles, Athlon Front Stretch. Dale, I wanted to talk about your teammates a little bit because it seemed like down the stretch tonight, especially round 10 to go, even when the lanes forced a separation, you guys had a real clear commitment to work with each other. You, Jeff, and Jimmy. You had Jeff behind you on the final restart. How much of a difference do you think they made down the stretch here, and how much has they kept your confidence up, especially Jimmy being in the same shop after all these second-place finishes to make sure, you know, you get the job done?
Sure. Jeff pushing us on that last restart was key to us winning the race. It was a key moment for us to be able to break away and not get stuck side by side with the outside lane. So we timed that perfectly, and he did a great job, and that was definitely a very, very big moment for the victory there. You know, our teammates they're all great guys to begin with, but the reason why we all get along so well and tend to want to work with each other and even seek each other out at times on the track at Talladega and Daytona is because of the culture in the company. And you know, you don't feel like there's no favorite, there's no one singled out, no pressure on one guy more than the other. Everybody has the same commitment, from whether it be the fabricators or the engine room. Every team sort of gets the same commitment. It's a very well-run machine, and just the culture in there and how everybody enjoys working together really we feed off of that. And when we work, we see each other quite a bit. Rick has us over there often for quarterly luncheons or what have you, and in and out of the shop. And so we actually spend time around each other and get to know each other. I've known Jimmy since he first started racing in Nationwide Series at St. Louis when he ran his first race. I've known Jeff forever, back when him and Daddy were partners in several business ventures together. Dad introduced me to Jeff on the front straightaway at North Wilkesboro when I was running a late model race there one time. Told me he was going to be great. And me and Casey have been friends since he started. I mean, we just, you know all these people because you've been around them for so long. And we're all in great stuff. Rick keeps everybody happy. And so we enjoy seeing each other do well and enjoy working together. And the package tonight made you have to depend on people. And you couldn't do things by yourself. You definitely needed people to help pass other people and need help. So you know you can count on your teammates to give that to you if you can get in the lane with them. And as far as just Jimmy being a good teammate and you know, we won when I was working with Tony Jr. We won at Michigan. It was my first win with Rick. And when Jimmy came into Victory Lane, the first thing I could think of to say to him was, "I'm a winner." And he said, "I know you are." And Jimmy's always been one of my biggest fans ever since even before we were in the same shop, you know. And like I said, I've known him for a very long time. And before he was a champion and when he was just getting started and he was wondering what kind of motorhome to buy. You know, it's been a long road for both of us. And he enjoys seeing me do well, and I feel the same way about him. So we got a great relationship, and it's really great to be in the shop, same shop together. We feed off of their success, and I think they do the same with us. And hopefully we can continue that.
Over here to Stan, and we'll finish with Mike off to the left there.
Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. Dale, if you can go back to that final lap, the appearance was that no matter what Denny Hamlin did, you seemed to know what he was going to do before he did it. And so can you talk a little bit about that last lap? And Rick, did you hold your breath for a minute, or did you just feel confident the whole time the checkered flag was coming?
Well, I think that I knew what had to happen for us to be passed, and I knew what I needed to do to sort of combat that, and I needed to be in front of the cars that were moving to get a draft push from them and keep some separation and not allow them to get a run on me. And whether it was the 2-car or Denny, whoever was going to come with a run, I needed to be in front of them when they got there and really limit their opportunities around me. And Denny came pretty close. He got very close coming off of turn 4. I didn't know if he had enough to get to the quarter panel, but if he even sniffed on the quarter panel, he was gonna get a hell of a run to the flag stand. So it was gonna be tight. So he's very good. Obviously, they ran awesome this week. Won a couple races. Showed their speed and his talent. And I knew when he come up through there that that's what I was expecting. Somebody to get up there and make a move, and he's been able to show that all week that he's had a great race car and knows what to do with it.
Yeah, I was this race. You're never confident. I mean, I thought we were in good shape. Those cautions kept falling, and then we had to have those restarts, and you know you worry about that. And I thought when he got that good push from Jeff that we were going to be in good shape. But you just don't count this race until you see the car come off fourth corner and that car running second on the outside can't get to him. And it's an unbelievable feeling that I bet if you had a heart monitor, you'd be amazed what your pulse was, you know, in that last couple laps. And I know your knees get weak when it's over, but I've been there so many times down here coming off of 4 and wad them up. And so it was good to see that thing out front by itself. So it was very nervous.
Final question off to the right here, Mike.
Mike Neff from FredStretch.com. 2 of them for you, Dale. One's a quick one, one a little bit bigger. First of all, where's the party tonight?
I'm gonna try to keep myself under control so I'm in good shape tomorrow. But I'm going to have a few beers and spend time with my girlfriend Amy and whoever else wants to sit around. But and just see where the night goes. But we probably won't be able to party till we get to Vegas after Phoenix. I'm going to Vegas straight from Phoenix on Sunday, so that might be our time to celebrate.
It's 5 hours past my bedtime.
Cool. Second question for you. You mentioned that during the race, you put yourself in some situations that you had to in order to win. And I wonder if that's kind of a mindset that you're going into this whole year with, knowing that it's Stevie's last year and knowing that you're starting to get closer to the end of your career than the beginning. Are you at that point where in order to fulfill your dreams of winning a championship, you're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive than you normally like to be?
Well, it's not really about being aggressive. It's just that you get cars that give you so much confidence, and that's what happened at the end of the year last year. We were running second every week and running in the top 10 throughout the chase pretty much. We were getting cars that were completely superior to what I had at the beginning of the season, and hell, what I had at the beginning of the season was pretty good. So you just when you think things are as good as they can get, they get better. That's been that's been the situation with this team since me and Steve got together. We've gotten better every year. We said we were going to get better, and we have. And we get closer and closer and closer to reaching our goals without any kind of setbacks or.
Steve and Rick, congratulations on this win here tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Appreciate it. Claps.
Thanks for everything.
Yes, sir. All right, Randy. See you soon. Okay. Thank you.